lovelies. Checking in to chat a bit about the fear of weight gain in recovery. When I meet people for the first time, I usually ask on a scale of 1 to 10, what is their fear of gaining weight in recovery? And probably not surprising to you, if you're struggling with bulimia, the fear is astronomical. I get people saying 8, 9, 10. I've even had somebody coming in at an 11. Now, to my mind, that is a huge obstacle. That's not just a light problem. This is a massive fear that people have, that if we don't address, there's unlikely to be any progress in recovery, because the fear will keep you stuck. You know, they call it petrified. You literally turn to stone and you paralyze and you can't move forward. And in this case, the paralysis is the inability to let go of restricting and rules and finally listen to my body again. And so I really wanted to take this time to create a video to help you if you're experiencing a high level fear or terror around gaining weight in recovery, and you know that's essentially blocking your success. I wanted to take some time just to explore that fear and help you reframe it so that you can begin to take the steps, the courageous steps in the direction of finally listening to your body and allowing it to eat what it needs to eat. So here we go. Maybe even just saying that made you a bit scared. So here we go. When I was thinking about this morning, when I wanted to give this chat, because I've just been on Facebook Live chatting about it, the thing that came up to me was, when I thought of fear, I realized it's a full body experience. It's not something one can easily just say, oh, well, just don't worry about it. This isn't worry, and it's not anxiety, because that's a bit higher than worry. It's fear. Fear is visceral. It's in your entire body. There's something telling you, don't go in that direction or you will die. And the memory that immediately came to my mind when I was thinking about fear, and particularly with regards to weight gain, was a memory of me standing on the edge of the world's highest bungee jump, about to jump 200, there's a 216-meter drop to the valley floor. And I'd never bungee jumped before. And the visceral fear that was rushing through my body I've never experienced anything like that again. And hope to not experience that again, to be honest. And I'll never forget, I had my arms out and I had a guy on each side from the bungee company, and a whole pile of people were there, and the wind was belting through the ravine. Like, if it wasn't scary enough to stand on the edge of a bridge, to have wind pushing you from behind in the direction of your fears was intense. But the worst part was when they took this massive bungee cord and they threw it over the edge of the bridge. And as the weight of that thing pulled against my legs, I could feel my whole body just go, wah! I was just weak at the knees. That was terror that was racing through my body. But because I'd seen people jump before and I knew the statistics were really in my favor, even though I had all this fear, I didn't have to, I chose to jump. So when they said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bungee, well, I didn't jump. I just kind of melted off the edge of the bridge because I was just so scared. I couldn't even push my legs. And of course, the whole way down, I'm just freaking out. Just, I don't even remember it. My body was in complete shock. But then as the bungee cord kicks in and you could feel it take, and then finally you start bouncing back up and you realize you're safe, then it was all about enjoying the ride. Then I was just like, hoo-ha, checking out the view and loving all of it and enjoying all the bounces. So how is this related to recovery? Well, when I had that thought come to me this morning, I realized that bulimia recovery is so similar. You're having to take leaps of faith to trust something that you don't really know you can trust. And if the fear is, if I eat what it asks me, I'm just going to balloon out of control. What I want to do today is let you know that you have a bungee cord, just like everyone else. You can't see it, but it exists. And this is the bungee cord. It's your body. When you really begin to listen to your body, it doesn't want you to balloon out of control. It doesn't want you to be obese. A beautiful body wants to be beautiful. I'm so naughty for using these words, but we do. I mean, beautiful in the energetic sense. A wonderful body, a happy, healthy body wants to be really comfortable in its skin. It doesn't want you to feel heavy. It doesn't want you to be too light and dizzy. It wants you to be in just the right place, what I call the Goldilocks Zone. Obviously in winter, Your Goldilocks zone might be a bit higher, a bit heavier, because you're carrying a bit of extra weight for warmth. And in summer, you'll easily move into a direction of losing a bit of weight because it's hot. And you'll notice your cravings change in summer. You want more fruit, you want more lighter meals. And in winter, you want more heavier, warm, nourishing, creamy, rich meals. Makes total sense, right? But we've come to a place when you're struggling with bulimia of completely losing trust that your body will guide you to a happy, healthy weight. Why? Because over a period of time, through restricting and then binging and purging and restricting and binging and purging, the binges have just escalated so astronomically that even if you maybe just start eating, you might lose control. And it feels like your body's making you eat ridiculous amounts of food. And of course, the fear is, Helen, but if I just let my body keep doing that, I'll balloon out of control. And I'm here to tell you that's not quite what happens. Your body is your bungee cord. It might be a bit scary at first, and it hasn't really trusted you yet. But over time, as you begin to feed it and you gave it what it asked for, and you fed it when it wanted to be fed, instead of always no and restriction and wait and you're not allowed and you don't deserve and just all these rules that come up, as you begin to get really skilled, and it's a skill, you can learn it, at overriding those thoughts and really just listening to your body and giving it what it just asked for, you'll notice that it guides you to a really happy, healthy place. The benefits of taking that leap of faith, the high that you get from the bungee jump once you know that you've got a bungee cord and it's working, is you have more energy, more focus, you're not hungry as often. And if you do even overeat, you notice the next day you might just have ants in your pants. You just want to move because you've got so much energy. So you can really begin to trust, and it's a process and you need to watch it and see how your body's reacting. But when you really begin to listen and then trust, you can take that leap of faith. And it'll be scary at first, but your bungee cord will kick in and you're going to have the ride of your life. I promise you, freedom is worth pushing through the fear. Now, you do not need to start with the world's highest bungee jump like I did. You can start with little bungee jumps and grow them until you're so good at bungee jumping, by the time you get to the big one, you can do it easily. So what is the analogy there? If you're starting with allowing yourself and your body, giving it radical permission to finally eat when it's hungry, to have the skill to stop when it's full, and to allow it to eat whatever it's asking for, whether it's a salad or a supersized hamburger, then if you start allowing that slowly, then the analogy here is, instead of just going straight for the thing you're most scared of, like a pizza or a hamburger, whatever it might be, just start with something that's a little bit scary. Maybe it's having a wrap for lunch. Maybe it's having a little handful of crisps. Maybe it's eating chocolate that isn't dark. Whatever it might be that you know that you've got a fear around, or you feel that it's dangerous or bad, your job is, if your body asks for it, if it asks for it, and you hear it going, I want a Kit Kat, and you're like, no, you can't have a Kit Kat. No, Kit Kats are bad. Well, it's said, just say Kit Kat. Now your job is to begin to lean into that. And as I say, you can start really small. You can have, a small Kit Kat one day, and you practice that for a little while, and then, oh my gosh, I'm not actually wanting Kit Kats as often as I thought, and actually I'm still fine. And then one day you might, try a new one. So do little baby bungee jumps, build and build and build until the day that you're ready to say, hey, if it asks me for pizza, I'm not scared. If it asks me for pizza, I'll have some pizza, I'll stop when I'm full, and I'm good to go. What in the past would have been a massively scary experience now becomes something that you've built up the trust with your body, that the bungee cord will be there. And even if you overeat, trust me, you're going to have, in 1 to 2 days, you will see the benefits of having a little bit too much. We all overeat from time to time. I like to actually teach people the skill of indulgence, which is eating more than your body actually asks for, going beyond the point of full. And there's all sorts of reasons for doing that, but that's a whole nother conversation. But your bungee cord will catch you every time, because on the day you will begin to see that when you've overindulged, when you've eaten more than you needed, the next day your hunger will be lower, your focus will be higher, you'll have energy you want to burn off. And if it's not the next day, it'll happen the day after that. So that's the trust, that's the bungee cord that you need to build. And the only way to build it is to take a leap. So listen, trust, and then leap. And the trust will come with time. If you don't have it now, it's okay. You'll build it, because every time you leap, you'll realize, oh, that wasn't too bad. And actually, look at all the benefits I just got. So it's a big, big fear to take on. And I really want to honor that fear is a full body experience. So when somebody says, just don't worry about it, you're not worried about it. You are petrified. And so the way I like to work is slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I would much rather you took baby steps, testing out small things. Maybe just try breakfast, see if you can listen at breakfast. And when you're comfortable with that, then listen at lunchtime. Sorry, my phone just rang. Yeah, I got to turn this off when I'm doing these things. But ultimately, your job is to just start in a space that feels comfortable for you. But you cannot stop. You need to keep adding, progressing, making, when you've got that, then you get to the next one, then you get to the next one. But the progress will be exponential. Once you've tested out a few different foods and you've realized your body actually does quite well with them, or actually it's not even that interested in them, or it doesn't give you cravings for them all the time anymore, then you'll feel really comfortable to start doing more. And as the more you trust, and then it just exponentially improves. So start slowly and give yourself time to really practice all of these things. So that's that on fear. I needed to share that with you because I wanted you to understand that it's a process. And the only way to get rid of the fear of weight gain that's blocking you from recovery is to lean into it. And some of you are going to be super courageous and you'll just lean in and you'll go full force. And others are going to say, oh, no, I like this idea. Let's just slow it down. Let's slow it down because I'm getting a lot of anxiety around this. We can all sit with a bit of anxiety, but sitting with terror, I wouldn't, I don't expect anybody to push through terror. So start simply, go slowly. And I promise you, the jump is worth it. And eventually you'll be bungee jumping like a pro and enjoying every minute of it. Okay. I'll love you and leave you there. And we'll check in again with you soon.